Good afternoon from the GoLocal Live Navigate Credit Union Broadcast Center here in a finally sunny Providence. A little chilly, but still it's sunny, so I'll take what we can get these days. I feel like summer's never going to come, but when it comes, it better come hot. Today, on The Taste, we are talking about the sweet side of life. It's a segment that people have been asking about since we covered some desserts back in the late winter. And I've got some tremendous people coming in that I'm very excited to talk to. We've got Becky, who's going to be in here in just a minute from Celebrated. I've got Michelle from La Maison de Coco. I'll probably mess that up, but she'll correct me a few times. I've got Xavier from the French Confection, who I'm really excited to talk to as well. And then my last guest is going to be Tiffany Wright, who is with Silver Spoon Bakery. So 4 great guests, a lot of great things happening with them. I promise your sweet tooth will be in overdrive after this. But I also want to give a nice shout out to my friends Adam and the folks over at Need. Need Donuts opened up a second location today, which I thought was awesome news to hear that they're expanding like that. And they were nice enough, because today was the sweet side of life, so they gave me all these beautiful goodies here. So their donuts are amazing. This location is now on the east side. It's 135 Elm Grove that they just opened up. Beautiful, big space, much bigger than the space they have here in downtown Providence. But excited to see them open a second location. Check them out, great people. And thanks, Adam, for hooking me up with some nice donuts here that will go well with my kids later. But to get the segment started, I'm going to bring in Becky. We've got a lot of sweet things to talk about and a lot of sweet things to taste and look at. So we're going to start with Becky. Whoa, look at this. Oh, all the colors, so many. Beautiful. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
You can get the cookies.
Taylor got cookies. Oh, my son's going to be in his glory.
A little bit of everything here.
So quick background on Becky. Her and I actually met when she was showcasing her products at Harbor Lights, right?
Yes,
it was
the
one of
Bridal
my
Expo.
the Bridal Expo. That's right. So Harbor Lights is one of my clients. Got to say that, but great location out in Warwick Neck, and you were there, and I think you had a lot of people talking to you.
Yeah, and that was my first Bridal Expo, so I had no idea what to expect, and it went so well. Like, I attracted a large group of people and got to talk to some potential couples. So
and you were
great.
showing off amazing things just like this.
Yeah.
So everybody was drooling and tasting for sure that day. So I want to talk about, before we get into your awesome products, but tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into this.
Sure. So my journey with baking has been over 6 years now. I actually started at City Girl Cupcake right on Way Boston over here.
Yeah.
I developed this infatuation with cupcakes and made it my mission to go around Rhode Island and find the best cupcakes.
What a mission. I like that mission.
Yeah, so, I ate sweets, dragged my boyfriend every single weekend to try new cupcakes. And it all started from there. I basically begged the owner at the time to allow me in to bake, and eventually managed the bakery. It has since moved and been under new ownership. But after that, I actually moved on to Silver Spoon Bakery, which is here today.
Yeah, Tiffany's going to be here, right?
Yeah, and I actually trained Tiffany. Fun fact.
That's so funny. Oh, I'm going to talk to you about that for sure now. That's awesome.
So there's that history, and then I moved on to another bakery in Newton, Mass.
So you've really made this a passion. You've done well with this one.
Yeah, I just developed a passion for it and a love for it, and people kept asking me. I started making macaroons, and my friends basically were drooling over them. I would bring them to every party, and they were like, you need to sell those.
So you've gone on from that, from this experience, which the cupcake thing cracks me up.
Yes.
So from this great experience that you've gone on, you've actually created, though, a little bit of a different niche for yourself and how you're doing this. So tell us what makes your products different.
So my product is special because it is 100% plant-based. Everything is vegan, which means there are no animal products whatsoever. And that is because I am myself vegan. I've been vegan for 3 years now.
Wow.
And I'm very passionate about it. It's become a part of my life. And I wanted to translate that into my love for baking. And also, I'm in a niche because we don't have many vegan bakeries in Rhode Island, especially vegan bakers who do weddings.
Right. So that has led to some of the questions that I got, sent to me. And I did get everybody's questions. I'm going to ask the ones I can. So it brings one of the questions is that from people's perspective, and that it is a nice niche to be able to come in, especially when it goes to wedding cakes and things like that, is it challenging to be able to bake that way?
I think initially it's intimidating because people are like, well, what do you use for butter? What do you use for eggs? And even eating vegan is intimidating. I'll admit it was hard for me in the beginning. I didn't know what the hell to eat, and you know, it was like, oh, Oreos are vegan. I'll just binge on Oreos and pasta.
Really? Oreos are vegan?
Oreos are vegan.
Oh my God, who knew? See, I might be able to do it. No, I'm only kidding. I can't do it. That's Oreos aren't enough for me.
So, but over time, you just learn more and more. You're more exposed. There are so many options now. And now for treats, I'm trying to change perceptions also. And, you know, when people try, like, for instance, my cookies, which were part of a statewide Best of Cookies challenge, and I won first place.
You did? Congratulations.
I did,
That's fantastic.
against vegan and non-vegan competitors, which was amazing.
So I'm going to try a cookie, by the way. So what, because I couldn't mess them up earlier. So what do we put into the cookies to make them vegan?
So they're basically your average chocolate chip cookie, with the exception that I have a substitute for butter and eggs. The substitute for eggs is a combination of
I'm going to be in real trouble by the end of this segment.
I'm going to leave them all for you, too.
Oh, my God. All right, so what's the substitute?
So there's an egg substitute, and then there's a butter substitute, which is an oil blend. So it's still real food. It's not like I'm using Frankenfoods here to make cookies. There's still flour, there's still sugar. Not only that, it's mostly organic. All of my products I like to infuse mostly organic whenever possible.
So part of this myth, and talking about this, and I think you're right, it relates to all things vegan, is that the taste is going to be different.
Right.
Or it's not going to be as good as what other people expect.
Yeah.
I would never know the difference. This is
That's what I
amazing.
hear a lot, that like, oh, I could never tell, there's no eggs in there, there's no butter in there, and I even kind of surprised the judges too at the competition. They all turned to me and were like, what, that was vegan?
I can see why.
They just couldn't believe it. Yeah, and I had the cookie dough there as well. I don't know if you're a cookie dough fan.
Oh,
but
yeah. Yep.
Who isn't?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's gained such popularity that, you know, at the markets and everything, I give it away as samples, and people are like, you need to jar that, you need to sell that, it's so good.
Seriously. All right, so let's talk about the type of things that you do have. Okay. And I actually wanted to give it into the wedding side of things, because you brought this really cool, unique cake when I last saw you.
Yes.
So I want to bring that up too.
Yes.
But so tell me what you brought here today besides the delicious cookies that I just ate.
So I also have French macaron. So those are your traditional almond flour and meringue-based cookie. I do have a substitute for meringue as well, since I don't use eggs. And that's like a secret, not so secret ingredient. Many people might not know what it is, but it's called aquafaba.
I can't even say it.
Do you want to know what that is?
Yes, I want to know what that is because I can't pronounce it.
So aquafaba is actually the water from a can of chickpeas. Believe it or not.
From a can of chickpeas?
A can of chickpeas. You drain chickpeas,
Yeah.
and the water that you have left, you whip it up, you add some granulated sugar, and voila, it's the consistency of meringue. It's crazy.
Really?
It still blows my mind every single time I make it.
So I've been wasting all the water every time I eat my chickpeas in
I
my
know,
salad.
give me your
my gosh.
water.
I'll have to like, save it up for you.
So what happens is now I have a surplus of chickpeas. So
But
if there's
chickpeas are
anybody
vegan, though.
out there who needs chickpeas,
But can you eat the chickpeas? They're vegan, aren't they?
I do, but
Well,
like I'm talking
lot of
like I'm
chickpeas.
talking like 30 cans of chickpeas a week.
My
So
God.
like between me and my fiance, like we sustain ourselves on chickpeas, which is totally cool. But
Poor guy, he had cupcakes and now he's got to eat chickpeas.
yeah, I know. There's always
this
something.
Poor guy. All right, so we got
so
the
I have
those.
the French macarons, and then I also have an assortment of mini cupcakes, just because I love many things. And these are all items that I would put on a wedding dessert table if you wanted to do an assortment of desserts. So I have a chocolate cake here with shredded coconut inside the cake and a coconut buttercream.
Nice.
I have a vanilla cake with funfetti sprinkles in there. And all the sprinkles and everything I use is 100% plant-based as well, vegan, no artificial colorings or additives ever. I've scoured the internet
So
to find
no artificial colorings.
no artificial colorings. Everything is made with fruits and vegetables. I have found a company that produces powdered food coloring, but it's all made from plants and vegetables
That's fantastic.
and fruits.
That's really no. It's encouraging
yeah.
to hear that those things are out there and available too. So
Right. Yeah.
awesome.
I mean, they are a little bit they're costly for
Right.
like your everyday baker, but and then I also have what I call a raspberry lemonade cupcake.
And I like the little straw going on.
Yeah,
That's
just a
awesome.
little straw
Nice
for
little
like
touch.
cuteness and like spring. So.
So these awesome things are something that you should have looked to, but you have been doing other events. Like you said, these are something that could be done at a wedding, but you've been doing wedding cakes since how I met you.
Yeah.
And you had this very cool cake. So tell us about the kind of cakes you had and mention that one because that one was really cool.
Oh, I bet you're talking about the geode cake.
I am.
So I had a geode cake there, and those have kind of blown up on Instagram. Especially for me, because I'm like on Instagram constantly all day, and I'm a foodie, so I'm always looking at pictures of food, and so these are kind of blown up.
So it looks like a geo, like the
yeah,
scientific
so it looks
thing.
like if you cut inside of a geode, and you have that kind of shape, and there's all different colors. You can really get creative with it. So I use a rock candy that is hand painted.
It was
with the
very
food
cool.
coloring.
It was drawing a lot of attention. So, and I didn't know that was a thing until I saw it there. And then all of a sudden, I was seeing it everywhere. So
they're so fun, and like I'm all about like obscure and doing stuff that is not around here. You know, like cakes people have not seen before. I do a lot of unicorn cakes.
I put one of those up today.
Fun.
I thought that was great.
Yeah, like I get a lot of requests for unicorn cakes, the geode cakes, but I'm all about pushing my boundaries. I love to be challenged. Like I love people to come to me and say like, hey, can you make this, or can you make that, or this is my wedding theme, and what can you do? And you know, just having that creative freedom.
And I think
awesome.
that's a lot to your credit there, because people are looking for that now, and it's sometimes not always easy to find. And I think all of the guests that I have today, you guys are showcasing that you deal directly with your guests, they can talk to you,
Exactly.
and pushing the limits and doing new things. And,
Exactly.
and that's not only did you do new with how you're baking this, but the style and the products you're putting out. That geo cake was wild. It was just, I was still blown away. I still talk about it. We have a picture of it because it was just an awesome thing.
Yeah, it's like a product that wows, but then you also have this service-based company behind it. You know, somebody who's working with you one-on-one. It's just me behind the scenes. When you are emailing me, you are speaking directly to me. When you are going to my website, that's all me. And
That's awesome.
I just love having that like one-on-one interaction.
So what is as a baker, what is your favorite thing to make? That's our last question for her, because she's done great.
That's tough. I honestly, like, I love them all. I can't choose
I can't
favorites.
stump
They're
you?
like
Come
my
on.
kids.
They're like your kids.
The macaroon has been like such a challenge, like a journey. Like I will tell you, I started making those 5 months ago, and
Really?
I've finally gotten to a point where I am satisfied with it. I'm the only baker that I know of in New England who makes a vegan French macaron.
That is awesome.
Yeah, so it's definitely in a niche. So those are my favorite just because of all the blood, sweat, and tears that have
that's a
gone
good reason.
into them.
That's a really good reason. That's awesome. Well, congratulations to you. I'm excited.
Thank
I'm
you
glad
so
that we met you. I know that she's going to be doing great business, because once people find out that you have this style, this niche that you're filling is going to be a really good one for people.
Yes.
So, and I'll be eating more of these cookies afterwards, I guarantee you. But thank you so much for making
Thank
the
you
time
so
to come in today.
much. It's been
I'm
a
sure I'll be
pleasure.
seeing you more over the summer, because I'll be eating more of her stuff.
Yes, and we'll be at the Cupcake Challenge this weekend and New England Veg
That's
Fest on
right.
April
I
29th.
forgot that that's weekend. That's awesome. Well, I
Yes.
hope you win. Congratulations.
Thank you so
All right.
much.
Thanks for coming in,
All
Becky.
right, thank you.
Taylor. I think one of these are pistachios. You're going to have to save one of those for me. They look awesome. Thank you. No, don't eat them all on me, Taylor. So that was awesome. A great niche. Becky's done an awesome job. Very excited that she came in today, and that cookie was absolutely amazing.